Hi guys, welcome back to my channel Switchit. So this video is a part of most asked interview questions for Java programming language. And if you haven't watched my part 1, you can check it by clicking the link which I have provided you in the description box. And these are the questions which I too was asked during my recent interviews. So yeah, let's get started. So the next question is about explain JDK or Java architecture. So Java architecture is a collection of JVM, JRE and JDK. JDK is Java Development Kit and it is divided into two sections, JRE and Java Development Tools. These are the tools which are used for developing Java applications like Java C, Java P, jar, JDB, Java Doc. Whereas if I talk about JRE, JRE is further divided into two subsections, JVM and Java class libraries. JVM we all know Java virtual machine through which Java achieves its main feature of write once, run everywhere, where our Java program can run and any of the platform only because of this JVM. Further, this JVM also have some important features like first it has class loader. Class loader is a subsystem used to load class files, and class loader first loads the Java code whenever we run it. Then we have memory areas. It includes concepts of stack and heap. And third we have execution engine. Execution engine. This execution engine has features of like interpreter, which converts the bytecode into native code and it executes the code sequentially. Interpreter. Then we have JIT compiler. JIT compiler is just in time compiler and it is used to increase the speed of execution and it improves the code performance. Third we have garbage collector or garbage collection feature, which is used to optimize the performance of the system. If I talk about Java class library, Java class libraries include your libraries like util, lang, math. These kinds of libraries are present in this Java class library. So yeah, what we have studied, JDK Java Development Kit is the full development kit that includes everything developer needs from writing to compiling and debugging the Java programs. Then JRE, Java Runtime Environment, it contains the JVM and core libraries. Then we have JVM, which is Java Virtual Machine and which is the core part that executes a Java bytecode and which allows Java to be a platform independent. The next question asked is about final keyword. Final keyword in Java is used to impose restrictions in our code. If I talk about final keyword can be used with variables, with method and with class. In this code we can see if we use final with a variable, like in this main method I have a integer num variable and assigning 10 value to the num. Further, if I change that num variable and assign new value 20, it shows error because we have assigned final keyword to the num variable, which means that it becomes constant and we cannot change that variable. If I talk about final with method, in this code snippet we can see that in class test we have method which is having final, and if I try to override that method it cannot be overridden due to this final keyword. So we cannot override this method in this final method demo class. So yeah, if we use final with class, we can see in this code snippet that the class cannot be override or extends because we have making this test class final, so it is showing us error because the class cannot be extended or inherited due to the use of this final keyword. Next question is about static keyword. We use static keyword in Java for memory management, and static can be used with variables, method, blocks and class. And the static keyword belong to the class. It means that we do not have to create the object of that instance. It directly we can access that instance using the class. Now we will see the static keyword with variable. in this code snippet we can see we are having a class employee. We are having variables like employee ID, salary, and CEO. We have made CEO static. Now if I made objects of this employee class, we can create multiple objects. Here we have created two objects, and if we assign the value to those objects variables, we can see that we have only assigned once that static variable noble. Further, which means that we can this can be shared with all the objects, with e1 also and with e2 also. By calling e1.show and e2.show, we can see in the console that we are getting noble as an CEO, which we have initialized only once, and it is shared among all the objects. Now about static block. Static block is executed when the class is loaded into the JVM. Like in this code snippet we can see we are having a static block which is printing I am first executing and then assigning the value hello to the string str variable. Now if we run this program, we can see in console that the first statement which is getting printed is that I am first executing, which is a static block. Then after this the further steps or further instruction are being printed in the console. So static blocks executed at the time when the class is loaded into the JVM. If static is used with method or functions, then a function that need to be accessed without an object has to be declared as a static function. A static function can be called directly with class. We do not have to use object to call the static method. And if talk about static class, mind that we can only use the inner class to make it static. It does not need a reference of the outer class. A static class cannot access the non-static method and variables of the outer class. Like we can see in this code snippet, we are having a static class and we are having a nested class. Inside the static class we are having another class named nested class. We can only make static nested class, so we have made that class static. And if we want to access the display method which is not static, therefore we have to call that method with the help of object. We have created object to call this display method because this is not static, and we have seen that if we want the method to be called with the class name, we have to make it static. Next question is about this keyword. This keyword in Java is a reference variable that refers to the current object. This can be used to refer current class instance variable, current class method, current class constructor, and can be passed an argument in the method call, argument in the constructor call, and can be used to return the current class instance from the method. So these are the 6 usage of this keyword. And as we can see in this code snippet, we are having an employee class and we have made constructor of that employee. And further, if we assign or give the value to the constructor, here we are telling that constructor that assign the values which are given to you to these variables named name and employee ID. So this is an example of this current class constructor. We are invoking current class constructor by this keyword. Next question is about super keyword. Super keyword in Java is a reference variable which is used to refer immediate parent class object. Immediate parent class object, whereas this keyword used to refer immediate current class object. Remember, this keyword is about current class object, whereas super keyword is about parent class object. Super can be used to refer immediate parent class instance variable, to invoke immediate parent class method, and to invoke immediate parent class constructor. Now let's see how super is used with variables. In this code we can see we are having a class vehicle and having a max speed variable. Now we are having another class car which is extending vehicle class, and it is also having its own max speed variable. Now in void display method, if we want to access this max speed, we can access this with super dot max speed. So here we can see we are using super, which is used to refer immediate parent class object. It will not refer to this max speed because we have used super keyword, and super is used to refer immediate parent class object. So by this we can get output as 120, which is parent class variable. See how super is used to invoke parent class method. Like in this code we can see we are having a parent class and it is having a show data method. Then the child class is extending this parent class and it is also having show data method. Now we have written two print statements inside this show data and then calling show data with help of super, which is referring to the immediate parent class object. It is referring to this show data. If we make object of child class this class and called obj.show data, it will, the cursor will move to this show data method and it will print inside the child class show data, and child class num2 will be 20, which we can see in console. Then it will hit this line and it will call super.showAt the parent class method, and then we can see in the console it is printing inside the parent class show data method and num10. So this is example of super when we used or when we have to invoke the method of the parent class. Now let's see how super is used with constructor. Here we are having a parent class and we are having non-parameterized as well as parameterized constructor of this parent class. Non-parameterized because here the constructor does not have any parameter, whereas this is parameterized because it is having a parameter of this constructor. Now the child class is extending the parent class and we can see that we have a constructor of this child class also, and here the first statement is super 100. Super, we know that super refers to the immediate parent class object. It will refer to this object, these methods of this parent class constructor of this parent class. And we can see that we are having a argument inside this super, so it is calling this parameterized constructor. So the 100 will be assigned to this value variable. Now it will print the inside the parent class parameterized constructor. Here we can see inside the parent class parameterized constructor, and then it will print this line inside the child class constructor. So here we see how super is used to invoke parent class constructor. So that's it for this video. Soon I will be uploading part 3 of the series. Till then, do like the video, subscribe the channel if you found the content useful, and share with your friends. Till then, happy learning.